All right. Yeah, that was like the most devastating thing too. It's because like when I rescheduled with the collab, when I was like,
Yeah,
it's impossible to get two people together, at least
for
around
sure.
the same ballpark time. I finally get them all together, and that's when like the internet was not working.
Oh
I know.
no.
I was pretty stoked actually. I was really excited about that. We still like recorded it. I just haven't had the chance to post it yet.
Yeah, that's rough when you it's just something you can't ever predict.
I know. Should have known.
It happens. And of course it has to be when the two people are here. It always
Of course.
happens that way.
But yeah, that's one of and it might be trickier at least with textile, but if you're ever interested, like my goal at least for right now is like have like 10 people do like a collab and then like do like
Yeah.
some type of like a show, like run out like the top of Chrome Edge or something like that, or maybe even AJ would be down for it.
That would be awesome, yeah, for
So
sure.
I think that's like at least the goal, and I'm like trying to record all of them too, so you can kind of see all the process and everything too as well.
Yeah, I could. I've I don't do very much collaborative work, but I would be very down
Yeah.
for that.
Because it's one of those things where it's like I feel like every like couple of people have like a different approach. Sometimes similar. It's like some people are like, let's just cut it in half, but like I'm more like I'm curious to see like people are like, no, let's like
Yeah.
yeah, let's mesh a little cleaner, honestly.
For sure. Some fun, weird stuff. It's been so long since, like, I feel like in art school, you get to, like, do fun, weird stuff with,
Yeah.
like, other cool people. And since graduating, I feel like that's one of the things I miss the most.
I mean
It's
that's
just,
I mean even so I've been at 400 for like 7 years, I think almost at this point, and when I first started there, it was like everyone had like their doors open, like there were people hanging out playing music, and now you'll go in there and you'll be the only person in there when you're there, other than like maybe like one or two people that are there just like grinding all the time, but
oh,
it's you're usually like by yourself, which is kind of weird, at least to me.
yeah.
Because like I'm not sure like the last time that you've been in there, but like towards like the back end, towards the back lot, there's like that Franklinton Arts Gallery.
Oh, yeah.
When I was there, that was a coffee shop.
Oh, my gosh. That's
Yes,
crazy.
I
I had
know.
no idea.
And it was amazing. And then it
Yeah.
just was gone, which was sick. But then they
Yeah.
like started slowly getting rid of like all like the communal spaces, like couches and places to hang out. So now it's like you're either in your studio or you kind of feel like you're loitering a little bit, which is like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I mean that's the environment I would want to like kind of create as like a place where it's you're comfortable to just hang out
Oh, for sure.
and not necessarily
Especially,
work full time.
yeah, especially when you're like you want people who aren't artists to visit those spaces too. You know, kind of give. Sometimes people need a break from art. Sometimes it's kind of overwhelming.
Yes. I want to talk about dumb shit and like Ted Lasso and corny shit. Like that's what I want in
Yeah.
my life.
Exactly.
So at least I'm gonna read it to make sure I get it perfect too as well.
Yeah.
So
no
like
worries.
at least the initial quote, at least out of the article, it was feminist artists use a myriad of techniques and mediums to uplift their communities through continued use of traditional crafts to explore of often subvert concepts of domesticity, womanhood, and women's work. And I was curious, at least other than like when you think of at least that particular topic, other than like quilting alone, is there like other styles and mediums that like initially come to your mind when you think about passing that down?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think you know, a lot of fiber crafts like crochet and knitting, like yarn things, any kind of sewing, like and then also ceramics. I feel like is kind of lumped into those. It's just like one of those things that isn't considered fine art. It's like considered craft, and
Yeah.
there's like the whole debate of like what is craft and what is. And it's not really a debate. Like there's definitions, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And lots of books, but
Well, I feel like there's even because I've painted like different ways and styles, and when I feel like I'm at my best when I don't really have any time to think about what I'm doing at all,
yeah,
and I'm expressing. Whereas I've painted more in like a realistic format, and It's sick, and I would say it's great when I am finished and you feel accomplished, and it's like you can clearly identify this was like, this is good. But it's like I feel like when I would make stuff like that, it would feel more like a craft almost, like I'm clocking in. Like
Oh yeah.
there's like not as much enjoyment to it, at least to me, other than the finished product. Other than like once you get like done with a section, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I did not fuck this up. This is amazing.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know, but like when I'm by myself and I've got tunes on and I feel like I'm hitting like a rhythm. I don't know. I mean, sometimes it looks like shit, but like sometimes it looks perfect. It's like exactly what I want. And I feel like that's when I'm like the most comfortable.
For sure, me too. I feel like I take a very collage-like approach to my fiber pieces, and that's like, I kind of feel like what sets me apart from really traditional quilting and fiber artists, because I like leave things unhemmed and messy, and
Absolutely.
I do a lot of like sheer things which people don't tend to do in quilts, and I like experimenting with that a lot. But I also like, I say in that statement and in my artist statement too, that's like subversive in a way. So we're like kind of examining those traditions and then coming back and putting my, like, not my own spin on it, but like a feminist spin on craft. And examining especially like the landscapes of girlhood and the body and the home especially.
Yeah, no, I
but
love
like,
that.
Like this is a cyanotype print that I've sewed on here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like
I'm
keys
hyped.
and prints and earrings and flowers. And that's really what I've been going for, especially with my like my current aesthetic, my most recent show at Roy. It's like very much trying to like create like my childhood bedroom, but not in like in a very surrealist kind of like way.
No,
I guess.
I love it.
Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. What like at least inspiration, at least from your childhood, is there certain times where you feel like you did like pull from, or certain moments that you think that you specifically influenced that you like the work that you do?
Oh, for sure. My grandma actually taught me how to quilt and sew, so that's a really big part of my process, is like kind of while examining those traditions that are like kind of more generalized, I also kind of look into my family's trauma and how that trauma is passed down, but also how craft is passed down like familially.
No, absolutely.
And,
it's like, I don't know, you're always like become your parents, and I feel like you carry a lot of that trauma.
Yeah.
So it's not just like the cooking recipes, it's not giving hugs or talking about boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it's, so I kind of try to allude to like all aspects of that in my work with this kind of surrealistness and the unfinished nature of like some stuff. But then I try to like really hone in on some things so that people can tell that I know what I'm doing.
Sure.
Because sometimes I worry that it's like my craftsmanship isn't good enough.
I wouldn't even say that.
Let me put some beading on it.
Well, it is like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you're always like looking like way too deep into the things that you make. But I mean, there's also things that, I don't know, I feel like it's tough to connect with, but people still love. Like, I feel like people really enjoy acrylic pours for some reason, and there's really not, I wouldn't say there's like a whole, I mean, other than like, I suppose, color theory, there's not much like, I wouldn't say there's not much of like you or the artist inside something like that. Whereas I feel like it's more like drilled in, at least, like I haven't seen anyone, I mean, I like to look at like a lot of art, but I feel like I haven't seen anything like directly, at least, of how you combine things, which is super interesting to me.
Thank you. Yeah, I just, I really like to play with stuff, especially printmaking and fiber, and like, I'm not a big drawer. I love doing intaglio though. That's like the only time that you'll catch me like really drawing is on an intaglio plate.
Yeah.
And whenever hopefully, I know you had Elena on here. She's at Phoenix Rising.
Yeah.
And I really want to get in there.
Yeah, no,
because
Elena's sick actually.
She
we,
is.
we had like I can't remember. So Austin Tolliver was here too when like her stream was on, and I remember we were talking about Creed. She like just sent me a Creed meme today actually.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I love her work. It's so cool.
Yeah, her and so I had Austin and her, like they're in the middle of making a collab, but it's like unique to, well, it's like, and he's very, very particular, very specific about like what he wants in certain things. So like I had him on and he was like initially painting like kind of like a cloud backdrop, and then she was gonna do like a lino print like over top.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, I don't like it, and then like changed it, and then like did something entirely else with it, and now wants to do a different base for it. So it's like, no, it's like I totally understand for sure. At least I kind of like admire that kind of specificity, at least when it comes to people's art, because half the time I'll be like, if I make a mistake, I'm like, I'll find a way to make it work, kind of thing.
Oh my God, I'm the same way.
Yeah, it's like, we'll make this happen, rather than like scrapping the whole thing or changing it. I'm just like, I don't care. I was like, I'll do something with it, or sometimes I'll even like the mistake, and it's like better than what I like initially had like cooked up in my head.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about printmaking is I like can never seem to do it perfectly, but I also like learn to love it at CCG.
No, absolutely.
It's great.
I mean, I feel like that's half the reason why people like enjoy film so much. It's just like, I mean, it doesn't look as, unless it's like you're shooting a 120 millimeter, it doesn't look as good. It just doesn't. I feel like people are just attracted to like strange imperfections or strange film burn or like the weird effects that happen with film.
Yeah.
Other than, or just like having a print of it. But like I suppose like taking a picture with like a DSLR and printing it out is really not like, it's not the same feeling. It's like, I don't know, listening to vinyl or like a cassette or something. It's just not the same.
Yeah, it's really nostalgic. I try my hardest to use film photos. When I use photos in my work, it's not all the time because honestly, I can't afford to film as much as I want to.
Yeah.
I would literally love to, but
no, like the roll. So I really like. So I haven't done it in a long time, but I used to shoot like a lot of like nighttime cinematic looking shots.
Nice.
And the best film, at least in my opinion, is like it's called Cinestill, but like I used like the 800T.
Oh wow.
But it was like it's like $16 for the roll, and then like $15 to develop it. And I'm just like, sick.
Yeah, and then if you want prints, it's even more.
Yes.
It's like, I like a photo album.
Yeah.
I'm like, my whole brand is just like nostalgia, it feels like a lot of the time.
No, I love it. I mean, I feel like art in itself is still like kind of nostalgic unless you're like making digital work.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like people are trying to replicate things that they've seen or styles at least that they dig. At least for the most part. Like part of me initially in my head's like, this is probably original.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, maybe it's not. Like my favorite artist in general right now, his name's Andrew Salgado, and I feel like I paint, I don't know, part of me's trying to emulate, part of me wants to take it away and make something different with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just finding a balance. That's all art is. I feel like it's just finding a balance between like yourself and art history and where you kind of mesh.
Is there like a particular era that, I mean, I'm like normie, like I really like between like 1945 to like 1980. It's just like, I feel like people were just like, whatever, like essentially it was like all boundaries were gone.
Oh,
at least with art, which is why I like it so much.
For sure. I also love the 80s. I really am a fan of like the late 80s, early 90s feminist work, especially there was just so much going on in New York City in the 80s and 90s. So it's like not even really just the feminist work, but just the grunginess of the vibes. So good.
I can't, I'm just too ignorant, but I can't, I know I'm like ignorant this much. I knew there was waves of feminism, but I can't remember like which wave was in that time period or what those waves were defined as. I just know there were waves.
I'm pretty sure, and I will feel so bad if I get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was either second or third wave.
Okay.
I know it was not first wave feminism because that's like
No, absolutely.
women's lib and stuff.
Yeah, voting rights and shit.
Yeah. But, which is
Casual.
also, yeah, very important, but I love just the art coming out of that time. Jenny Holzer and like Nan Golden, who's a photographer. Jenny Holzer does like one of my favorite. She actually has a piece in the Columbus Museum of Art. It's that rolling neon sign.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, it's right like when you walk up the stairs. I used to work there. That's why
Nice.
I know.
How long did you work there?
About a year.
Was it amazing?
It was really awesome, except for that I worked in the galleries as like a gallery attendant, so we just had to stand around all day. But like, it was cool to see all the art, and now when I go back, I like, oh my gosh, this changed. Yeah. I love that, and it's always fun. And
yeah, I went like I feel like a couple months ago, but I didn't spring for the Where the Wild Things Are exhibit. I heard it was tight though. I mean, everyone takes photos in there, so I saw like pictures of it, but I didn't get to go in it because I'm like a cheap ass and go on Sundays.
That's okay. That's completely understandable. It's expensive. I am a firm believer in all museums should be free, but
they should just be like actively funded. Well, it's just like, and that's what
that
blows
too.
me. I feel like everyone and their mom got like a grant from GCAC, but it was just like it'd be cool like if like just the museums were free. Like that'd be cool too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Especially like why I never understood why the special exhibitions aren't free on Sundays. Because it's like 4 rooms. Yeah.
And it's like $20. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's insane. Oh my gosh. I have a membership to the Columbus Museum of Art. If you ever want to go see a special exhibition, you can come with me and my partner.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And usually, like, I still know people who work there, so usually, like,
just float me in. Is there like a wristband? I can't remember.
They give you a stupid little
tag
sticker.
Nice, all right, cool.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But there's a really great exhibition up there right now. I can't remember her first name, but her last name is Red Star. She's a native artist, and there's like a bunch of really, really awesome like handmade native clothing. There's quilts, which is cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of really cool photos and like kind of installation type. It's very cool. I honestly like it more than the Where the Wild Things Are exhibition, but
oh yeah, no. I mean, I read the book when I was a child, but I wouldn't say I was actively following that illustrator by any means. It's like I feel like everyone knows the book, but
I totally get why there was an exhibition, and I think it was cool. It was definitely like the costumes were totally the coolest part.
Those are the pictures I saw. I was like, that's what I would want to see. Like that'd be nuts.
And there were some of like, I'm gonna forget I don't remember the name. But there were some other illustrators that were also in that show.
Okay.
That he was like inspired by, and those were really cool because I had a couple of those books, and now I can't remember. My partner would know the name of
like
the
immediately
artist.
off the cuff. I mean, I can't remember all those names honestly.
It's one of his favorites, and he's watching probably right now.
He'll just give you a bunch of shit later. It's all good.
Yeah. You should have known. It's literally like sitting next to the bed.
There is. So I definitely immediately have to ask about these.
Oh yeah, of course.
Mainly just because I'm curious about the setting. Hold on. I'm smart enough. I can change this, right? Does this still work? All right, sick.
Nice.
Hell yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, these are old.
Yeah, no, I deep dive.
These are a series of photo litho plates I did at CCAD. This is I think my first lithograph. I edited it in Photoshop, and then you print it out on a transparency.
Yeah.
But I was really getting into like starting to get into nostalgia and like the home. So I was examining like different places. So like the large photo that is the background is the view out of my childhood bedroom window, and then the Polaroids are Polaroids from my first apartment. So it's kind of examining like growing old, time, aging. You know, I was really also focusing on, I was like, you know, dealing with a lot of trauma, as one does, and
I've been there.
kind of trying to ground myself, center myself. I did a lot of work also about the body at that time.
Sure.
For that same reason, you know. I would love to revisit litho again too.
Yeah, no, I've never touched on it. I know, can't remember their name on Instagram's Mac Paints, but they were like recently just posting like is it cyanotypes?
Cyanotypes.
Cyanotypes.
I'm
okay.
not sure.
That sounds better. But yeah, and then I immediately had to watch like 10 YouTube videos on that. So it was like I definitely want to try it at some point.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried it like? Because I know you said you like attached that. Have you ever tried it directly on the fabric or anything like that?
I haven't. These are actually like chemically dyed sheets.
Yeah.
I have all the stuff to do the stuff on fabric. I just am using these first.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just like, because like my initial thought was just like, how fucking big can I make this? And I was just like, do I need to like I was considering like getting like a huge like blow up like, I don't know, kiddie pool and filling it with that shit and then putting like a whole canvas in it.
You totally could. I'm trying to remember. There's an artist who did like a shower curtain.
Oh shit, that would be amazing.
And it was really cool. Oh my god. I feel like it was somebody really obvious too. I can't remember.
Oh, no, it's all good. No, don't worry.
Yeah, there's an artist who did a cyanotype on a shower curtain, and it was awesome. They did like the two people, so it looked like you were looking in the shower.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that was like my first thought because I see like all the small like little prints and things like that. I was like, dude, it's like I paint big, so it's just like I want it fucking massive. I feel like it just makes me think of like Rauschenberg stuff of like how he like layered all that shit on top of one another. It just makes me think of like stuff like that.
Yeah, he's my favorite modernist.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I love.
He's huge on artists' rights too. I can't remember what year this was, but I don't know if this was more like as a group he was trying to like help artists or help mainly himself.
Yeah.
But he was trying to find a way to like when like fine art was like basically, I mean it's like a traded asset between like the wealthy. So he was trying to find a way, or at least amend some type of law where like anytime like a painting was resold, like the original artist would still be able to like retain some type of compensation through that sale.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I was like, that would be awesome. That would be insane. But like then it got me thinking like, I mean, even with like a lot of like musical artists, like they don't even own a lot of the stuff that they make like at all.
And that's so sad. Hope they're doing well.
Yeah. It is a double-edged sword though, because I think about it all the time, because it's like you need to have like some like, I don't know, people that like sell stuff, because I feel like there's so many artists where it's just like you're probably gonna lose us money, but we still want to like support you in some way, so they have to like have someone like Rihanna to support like 10 like small indie acts that don't really generate a ton of revenue.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like I kind of get it, but it's just like I wish like, and maybe that's on them to like renegotiate that like later in the career. But it just like sucks. Or just start your own label, I guess, once you get to like some level or your contract's over, something like that.
They should unionize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the writers are out there with picket signs. Where's
yeah,
like,
why aren't the musicians? Yeah. Truly.
I mean, realistically, if they all just like said like, we're not making anything for like 8 months, I think I would go insane for sure. I would definitely like revisit bands where I'm like, I'm definitely gonna listen to that.
Yeah.
Finally listen to that.
Yeah, the whole world would change. What would the top 40 stations do?
I don't know. It'd be a lot of like Post Malone and shit like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of tunes,
For sure.
what are you jamming with right now?
Oh my gosh. I honestly listen to a lot of like, Lost a bead. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Probably
The rug
gone.
below you is disgusting. It's totally fine.
They're so tiny. It's probably gone forever. My go-to right now is probably any upbeat song on the new Boy Genius album.
Oh, hell yeah. Wait, were you there?
No,
I went.
I wish.
It was
You
dope.
went?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
that's
so like
awesome.
my favorite artist right now is Dijon, and he was like one of the
Yeah.
openers. So I was just like,
Yeah.
I mainly went for him, honestly, but I was just like, we get to see Boy Genius too, so this is perfect.
That's so sick. I wanted to go so bad. I saw it on so many people's Instagram stories, and I was so jealous.
I know, my brother gave me a bunch of shit. So my brother's like a music snob, which is like good and
Nice.
bad.
Yeah.
But like he gave me a bunch of shit because I didn't go like the day LCD Sound System was playing, and I was just like, all right. And I like LCD Sound System, but like the lead singer is like a giant asshole, so I'm just like, I don't know. I wasn't that concerned about seeing LCD Sound System.
Yeah.
But like to be honest, and then like I listened to like a handful of like Clairo songs.
Oh, I love Clara
She's
too. Yeah.
fucking awesome live. Like way better than like the studio things that I've heard. It was amazing. The whole day was great, honestly.
Oh my god, I saw her live pre-COVID
Oh
in
shit.
Cleveland.
That's
it was
huge.
So fun. It was awesome.
At least it was, I would say my like, I feel like my like journey into finding Boy Genius was like one of the more unique. Because I feel like so many people knew Phoebe Bridgers and Lucy Dacus, but
Yeah.
I only knew of Julian Baker.
Oh,
That's like how I
fun.
found like Boy Genius, because that's like I like sad songs, so it's like Julian Baker. That's what she makes. Is
Yeah.
very depressing tracks.
That is true.
I saw her live at like the Pitchfork Music Festival, like
Oh, cool.
I don't even know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that. And we went because it was like the last Tame Impala like show before like the new album came out, so that was like the biggest reason we went.
That makes sense.
But yeah, it was. I remember I was kind of bummed. It was like I was super into Odd Future when I was in high school, so like Earl Sweatshirt was playing that day, and he like canceled the day of, and I'm just like, sick.
Oof.
It's the worst.
I would
And
be sad.
and I know with him it's definitely like a mental health thing, so it's just like, all right, that's fair, I understand.
Yeah.
But I was devastated. Come perform for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually like my go-to, because I always like the real shit too, because like I feel like when you always ask someone, most people think of like what's like the cool, like cutting edge, like cool music I'm listening to. But like a lot of times I'll just ask, like, do you have Spotify? All right, so it's like, do you know the repeat playlist?
Yeah.
That's what I always ask people about. I will give you my my top five if you give me your top five.
Oh my god. I'll have to get my phone out, but they're definitely embarrassing.
Dude, mine are too, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
What's
Windsor McKay is the illustrator I was talking about.
Oh, nice.
My partner did text me.
Perfect. All right, how do I find this again? Oh, there we go. On repeat. All right, mine aren't so bad. I'm just like super into like did you like pop punk and stuff when you were younger?
Yes.
All right, so it's like I got really back into the Story So Far, and then the lead singer has like a new band called No Pressure, so I've been listening to them like so much too. But my top five are Say What You Mean from No Pressure, Nerve from the Story So Far, Me from 100 Gex, Words from Dororia, which is actually him next door.
Oh,
I listen to his
nice.
song a lot when I run, so it's like perfect. And then Doing Fine from No Pressure, so it's like not very diverse, I would say.
Mine is pretty diverse.
I love it. I'm ready.
It's not very diverse. I feel like it's kind of basic, but it's like a diverse
like
basic
group of artists.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Got Dogtooth by Tyler the Creator.
Bagger.
Yellow Flicker Beat by Lorde, throwing it way back.
Love it.
The Cause by Tommy Lafroy. And then DNA by Kendrick Lamar.
I love it. That's sick.
Yeah. And then Don't Hate Me by Lola Young.
Not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
That we'll have to add to the list.
Yeah.
We'll play them once we cut to like just tunes, because I'm gonna like ask, like I'll have to like listen to music. I'm like one of those people where like half the time when the show like started, it was just like we'll talk for a bit and then I'll just show you dumb things I've been looking at on the internet for a while, and then we'll look at your music and movies and whatever content that you appreciate, because that's like, I don't know, I feel like that tells so much about a person, is like what they are like constantly like putting in front of them, and it's just like it makes sense. At least that's why you like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got tunes.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing though. So what's your favorite childhood movie?
My favorite childhood movie? That's a hard one. Oh my god, no it's not. Spirit.
That's the animated horse movie, right? I have actually never seen that.
I grew up a horse girl.
Really?
I had a horse-themed birthday party.
I love it.
Or a spirit-themed birthday party with a horse.
Were you like in 4-H or anything like that?
No.
You just loved horses?
We didn't have enough money for a horse. Just
no, that's fair.
Like to be a horse girl.
It is, yeah, it's like you have to have like a decent job.
Yeah.
Like salary just for the horse exclusively.
Really, truly, it's insane. I act like I want livestock in my adult life, like in a dream where I have like land and I can have
absolutely.
like a cow.
No, I dream of like, have you ever been to Granville? Like all the farm properties in Grant. So that's where I just got a new puppy. His name is Wes. And he's a Great Pyrenees. But this family I got it from, they use Great Pyrenees like what they were like used as a utility for. They like watch over like their alpacas and goats and everything. But like they like basically had what I eventually want, at least when I'm older. Just like, and Granville's so awesome. So it's like this, they just had like this big farm. They had a greenhouse section, a bunch of animals. He like does woodworking and contract work, and she like, so she has alpacas. She makes like oh god, it just slipped my mind. All right, you might be able to get it from this. It's a textile art. It's usually plant hangers a lot of the time.
Oh, macrame?
Yes. Oh my god, I don't know how I didn't think of that. But she uses the actual like fur from her alpacas to make the macrame.
Wow,
and I'm just
that's
like,
awesome.
But yeah, I got to watch like Great Pyrenees like work in action.
Wow.
So they had like these little stoops around like the farm, and they would just like travel to their little spots and sit and look and then just move to the next one. And I was just like, what? This is a thing?
That's
My
crazy.
doofus does not do that. He gets on the counter and he gets too excited, but he is awesome.
Aw,
he's a great
that's
dog.
So cute. We just got a kitten, and she's so cute, but she just learned. She's living in the bathroom right now because we literally just got her. And she has learned about the bathroom counter.
Oh, nice.
Like
Knocking
literally,
shit?
yep. As of like me leaving the house, I'm like, sorry.
So I have a house in Franklinton, not too far from here.
Nice.
And I would say it's kind of a hotbed for cats. But yeah, we recently took in like 4 kittens that were outside.
Aww.
We just gave 2 away that my partner was very devastated and attached to them. But we got 2 fairly, like at the perfect time where they didn't need to be like bottle fed.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And they like immediately transitioned to like fun cats. And then we found 2 all black ones we think are from the same litter, but like 3 weeks later. And they're like still just like not having it, but they're like definitely better now, but we're hoping that we can transition them. But yeah, we have right now in the house like 2 dogs and like 3 cats right now. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much animal. But my partner's dog's like an all black poodle.
Oh, that's so cute.
And he's like the nicest, sweetest dog ever.
Yeah, one of my mom's friends growing up had a bunch of poodles, and she still does to this day, and they're so sweet.
Yeah, they're great.
And they're so smart. She has poodles and border collies.
So just like 2 really smart dogs, all for it.
She does like agility.
Oh, nice.
Dog agility with them. Yeah, she doesn't have kids, she has dogs.
To be honest, sounds kind of awesome. I'm sure my mind will change on that. It's just like it's too early for me to conceptualize that for myself just yet.
Oh yeah, I like to dream about it, but I can't think about it realistically. It's too stressful.
I'm like too selfish with my time still. So I feel like once I'm like, I've kind of accepted where I am more, and I'm not like so ADD where I just need to like try like a million things.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll be more comfortable, and I'll share like all the dumb talents and skills that I have with someone else, and
For
hopefully they'll be
sure.
able to do something with all the dumb things that I know.
Yeah, I feel that.
All right, so man, Spirit, that's a banger. All right, so how's that compare? What's like, not necessarily favorite movie, because I've been like scorned out of saying that now, at least for saying like what's your favorite, but like
Yeah.
what's like your go-to now? Like it's a shitty day, it's rainy out, you didn't go to work. What's like the go-to rewatch?
Honestly, it would probably be not a movie. It would probably be like reality TV, like Survivor.
Love it.
Really embarrassingly, I watch the Kardashians. I don't like them,
No, it's
but
okay.
I watch it.
It is kind of taboo almost at this point to say that you like them, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like people come for you. I feel like,
Imagine.
to be honest, I feel like so many people do, and not too many people say that they do.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I feel like saying you do is already like, it's a big step. It's like the first day at AA. Like, yes, I love the Kardashians.
It's just like, yeah, I want to watch them like spend their millions of dollars. I don't have millions of dollars.
Yeah, no,
to
I
spend.
totally get it.
And
No.
then it's on like Survivor. It's like, ooh, who's gonna get the $1 million? Oh my gosh.
What I was always curious of, I was hoping Survivor did like did you ever watch Big Brother?
Only like a couple times.
It's not great. You're not missing much. But so they had like a thing, I can't remember, I think they had it on HBO or like whatever CBS also owned. They had like Big Brother After Hours. So you got to see like the non like game interactions
fun.
and stuff. I was like, that's what I hoped that they had for like Survivor, just like the like not even knowing that they were on camera, just like dudes like in the forest at night, just like filming weird ass interactions between the contestants.
Yeah.
Like I would be super interested in that.
I honestly bet there's footage. I feel like there's so much Survivor footage that we don't see. My partner and I theorize about Survivor all the time.
Of course.
When we watch it, we're just like, oh my god, what aren't they telling us? What don't we know? What is real and what is just the editing or whatever.
I know. It's like I'm curious how they like clip certain like context for, I don't know, like, because I know they like definitely like frame certain like conflicts, but I'm curious to like, was it something like not even a conflict and they're just like there's crazy ass fucking drums in the background or something like that to hype it up?
Literally. Yeah, or like sometimes it's like, oh my god, like they really hate each other. Jeez.
So do you like I know like so many people like Bachelor and stuff like that too as well.
Have not gotten into Bachelor, although like I feel like most people know that I like reality TV. So people always recommend it to me. I have a friend who watches Love is Blind, I think.
Yes. I was like, my partner watches that. I think so. I don't know. It's one of the streaming ones. I know
Yeah.
she watches it.
Yeah, and she loves that. And I've watched it a couple times with her, but I've never like actually watched it.
That's fair. My partner is just like very like I like watching like really sad, depressing, like very realistic conflict style movies. And
Yeah.
my partner likes rom-coms and like the positivity of love and life, which I feel like that's expressed very well in reality TV. And it's like one of my favorite movies is like Blue Valentine, which is like just the downward spiral of a once blossoming relationship with like no positive ending. But I love the director. His name's Derek Seinfranz, and I just like him. Like he did Blue Valentine, he did The Place Beyond the Pines, and like a few, and like he recently did like a show with Mark Ruffalo that I just watched. Can't remember what it's called, but he played like he basically played twins, and it was like one of the best shows I've seen in a long time. But yeah,
I'll have to check it out.
She'll humor me sometimes. She'll watch them with me sometimes, but I know she would rather be watching like some Matthew McConaughey, very positive life movie. But yeah, I don't know why I'm attracted to that. I don't know. I feel like I have a hard time being stimulated by something that's ends with a positive result for some reason.
I kind of get it because I feel like my actual movie taste is like something true crime or.
Have you watched True Detective yet?
I have not. What's it on?
It's HBO.
I have HBO.
Just watch the first season. The second season's poo poo pee pee.
Yeah.
They change it up though. Like it's not like continuing. It's like a whole different cast for season
cool.
2. But the first season, I would argue to say it's like one of the best seasons of TV in general. It's Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson as like detectives.
Oh, fun.
It is so good, and it goes down paths I didn't even expect, honestly. Like, I was not anticipating at all.
That's awesome.
It was like one of the first, it was like, I don't know, the first time where I was like, actually, like, this show is greatness, like with Breaking Bad, where I was just like so eager to see like the next, there was like,
Yeah.
even like I bought I'm a huge physical media person, so I just blind bought the Blu-ray set at Play It Trade It, and I was just like, holy shit. I was like shocked.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I'm like, I mean, I feel like a lot of shows like are good, but it's rare where I'm just like, this was the best thing I've seen in so long.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, and again, like, have you watched The Bear? With oh my god,
that's
it's
great.
so good. Even someone that's like not even from like a kitchen background, I feel like it's just so good. My brother worked in a lot of kitchens, though, so I try to live vicariously through them.
Yeah.
All right, so next piece as I get... Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask, what was your cat's name, too, as well?
Oh, I have 3 cats.
3 cats?
Yeah.
Hell
As
yeah.
of now.
That's huge.
3 cats. The kitten's name is Joe Pie, like Joe Pie weed. And then we have a white and gray cat named Cowboy, and a black cat named Hazel Rose. And Cowboy is a cowboy through and through. He's crazy.
Does he have like a nice strut?
Oh my god, yeah, he does.
So this like initial instance with like us fostering cats was definitely not the first time. So there was one cat. So it's like I just have too many cats right now. I basically made the mistake, and now it's like a never-ending cycle.
Uh-oh.
So there was like kittens that showed up on my porch like a month or so after I like got the house and moved everything in, and I was just like, oh man, I can't have you in here. And then I like started giving, like, I put food out, which is like, don't do that. So yeah, now it's been now it's been 2 years, and there's an outdoor house I have for the cats, and like they hang out.
Yeah.
But there was like one time where like super thin, like probably like days from like dying black cat that just like charged the porch one day.
Oh my gosh.
And he was like super wonky, and I eventually just brought him in.
Yeah.
And he like fattened up and like got normal, and then he's now like in the possession of like one of my buddies.
Nice.
But I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm not sure if he was like nicked by a car, like got hit, or was in a fight or something. But like, I don't know if it's his hips or his back, but he like sways his back legs, and it's incredible.
Oh.
It's so fucking funny though.
That's so sad but precious.
It was amazing.
Oh. Yeah, my oldest cat, Hazel Rose, was born in somebody's garage somewhere in Akron.
I love it. Those are the best cats.
She's a sweetie. She's definitely my cat, though. She's kind of antisocial otherwise, but it's a cat.
Yeah, I would say, at least because I feel like a lot of people assume that I am more extroverted, but like, I'm not. It's like I thrive when it comes to like personal environments like this, because I don't know. I'm not a huge small talk fan, but I feel like when you're like in a situation like one-on-one or like a group of 4, you can really like interact in a way that's more intimate.
Sure.
For some reason I'm more comfortable interacting that way versus like at a party or something like that, and I like have to like network or like force my way into conversations. Oh
yeah, I joke, but it's not really a joke, that I usually when I have a gallery opening, I'm doing a performance, and it's a lot easier to do a performance than it is to
because you have to chat people up and probably answer the same questions over and over again. Yeah. It's
I'm like, I'm so cool and artsy. I'm doing an art piece.
No, absolutely. No, it's a good strategy, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, so I did Scrawl, like, I can't remember, it was like 2019 or something like that.
Nice.
But like so it was like cool and not cool at the same time, because it's one of those things where it's like I have headphones on and I'm just like worried about getting this done.
Yeah.
Like on time the entire time, and I felt bad too, because like all my friends came to say what's up like on the first day.
Oh no.
And it was like, I don't know why I do this to myself, but whenever there's like a situation like that, I want to try something that I have not done before. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like to push myself, but it like stresses me out at the same time.
Yeah.
So this day, I had like the idea to make like, because I love mixing colors. I love color theory. So I had like this concept where I took this photo of my partner at the time, and then I basically, on Photoshop, I just took the pixels all the way down to like 20 by 20.
Nice.
And I individually painted like the pixels like
cool.
for each square.
Yeah.
And then like it's one of those things where it's like if you're up close, you're like, the fuck am I looking at? But it's like someone showed me a trick when it was almost done, like they were taking a picture of it with their phone, and like when you took a picture of the phone, it squeezed it down and you could see exactly what it was. And I was like, holy shit, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But the first day, I was like trying to be very like particular. I wanted to get inside the lines and make everything look clean. And it was like hitting 10 o'clock at the end of the day, and I was not even halfway done. And I was just like, no.
Yeah.
So I was like, even in my head, I was like, well, this is my studio. I'll just stay out here and work on it. Like during the night, like when everyone's gone or anything, they shut off all the lights, and I'm just like,
never mind.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's rough.
But I don't know if it was just like the mindset I was in or if I was eager, but like the next day I was just like, I don't know if the Starbucks was hitting different, but like I finished it by noon the next day, and I was just like, all right, I guess like I don't know, maybe it was like my mindset at that moment versus maybe I was thinking about it too. I don't know. Maybe it's just me thinking. I like just get in my own way, just like when I'm thinking too much about it.
I totally do too. I honestly work way too manically for someone who like does like a slow craft.
Yeah.
It's really like, especially at CCAD, less so now because I have more time to do things.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But oh my god, yeah. I'm just like in a like fugue state quilting.
For sure. So break down how like working with textile was like at CCAD. So it's like, as someone's like, I did well academically. I decided not to go to college. I wanted to go to art school, but there was like, I just couldn't justify spending that much money in my head on it. So I just did it. I just like got into things. So I was just like, I started with like graphic design, and then I did like t-shirts, then I did photography, like I shot weddings. So that's half the reason why I have like all this stuff.
Nice.
I
mean, that's
and
a way to
then
get into
I
it.
started painting probably when I was like, I mean, I painted a little bit in like high school and stuff, but it was just like, oh, I like this, and I like just did it at school. And then I started doing it a lot when I was like 19, 20, and then I just like spent all my time doing it, like all the time. And then like 2 years later, I went to 400, and then just like, I don't know, I kept like trying new shit, and then, all right, I'll segue off to my next thought after you tell me about CCAD, because I am curious, at least like, is it like a whole different faculty?
No. CCAD recently took away their contemporary crafts minor.
Really?
Yeah, I'll give you the tea, I guess.
I love it.
Like, there's kind of a feeling in the fine arts community at CCAD that they don't really want to pursue that avenue, like, as much as they do, like, the design.
Interesting.
And things. And, like, also, I think that feeling is also felt by photography and, like, film and video.
Interesting.
It's just, like, you can kind of tell where CCAD really puts their money, and it's not in the fine arts department or faculty. And they also took away their art history major.
I heard that, yes.
Which I was an art history major at CCAD. And
Devastating.
that was really sad for all of us. And Yeah, it's just
Well, I feel like it's one of those things too. It's like it takes away that like bonding experience that you have with possible future people that did the same
Yeah.
program.
And the sad thing is, like, in my class, which I graduated in 2022 technically, but my cohort was the 2023 class of fine arts students, and there were a lot of people doing fiber. And there's Julie Abjanik she's the MFA chair now, but
Sure.
she's she went to Cranbrook. She's like a kind of a really, really badass fiber artist.
Love it.
And her and the printmaking professor at CCAD, Kathy McGee, were like my mentors. Because they're just like, oh, you like fiber? Yeah, do it. I'll help you. Do whatever you want. And like, yeah, it's not.
Well, it's just like I feel like it's kind of like I feel like it's ironic too because I feel like we just did like a massive fiber install downtown.
Yeah.
So it's just like
literally.
that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like fiber is a medium that has a lot of like potential in contemporary art, and I think
absolutely.
that there's so many awesome. Like, I mean, I'm biased because my Instagram bio or feed is like all fiber artists.
Yeah.
But like, there is just really something going on there that I think is special, and it makes me really sad that CCAD does not see that.
I
but
know
the faculty do, I think.
I feel like I read this a couple years ago. I know they did like an expansion, like 1 or 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Was it for digital media?
It was, they added the game design major, and
Interesting.
they redid, I think they redid DSB, which is Design Studios on Broad, which is like illustration, animation, and some fine art stuff, but also like your fundamental classes, your like 2D design and things.
Do you think they're trying to focus like what they view as something that's more like job sustainable?
I think so, and I think like yeah, that's where the money is. But like we knew that already. We all know that like fine arts isn't necessarily like what you pursue to make money. Mm-hmm. But that shouldn't matter, especially at a school that claims to be an art school. Also, they just took out the all of the glass kilns and all of the glass
like for glass
stuff.
blowing?
Yeah, because they're tearing down one of those buildings to build a new building. What will be in it, I don't know. They might have put a plan out that I haven't read, but
dude,
it's kind of sad. It's
really sad. That's
yeah. And again, it's craft and it's CCAD.
I'm just trying to think. I was like, does that like benefit them in some kind of? Because it's just like has my head turning. Like, what data are they essentially trying to improve for people that are looking at it? Like, are they looking at like median salary based on graduation, and do they think that might improve that?
I don't know. Or it's like, oh, we can use the space where this is, or maybe it's really expensive to keep up or really expensive to like make a new one for some reason, which I feel like could not be that. Well, but I don't know.
It's weird to me. I was like, so at my previous job, we toured a building that CCAD like used to have. It was like on Spring Street.
Oh, I love that building.
The one with the staircase on the outside. So what's the deal with that?
That used to be the Fine Arts Studios, and then they took it away, and they decided to sell it, and it still has a sign on it. It still's not sold.
Oh yeah, because it's like dumb expensive. But yeah, like, yes, I'm not sure like how much they abandoned it, but that place is still filled with like textbooks and art, just everywhere.
Well, they closed it like essentially right after COVID.
Mm.
So like there were definitely people who couldn't come get their stuff that never did or like didn't care to.
Yeah.
Right? Because people had to go back to like another country and stuff when that happened. CCAD was a mess, but like that was really sad.
Oh my god! Yeah, what a crazy thing.
Cool.
We definitely have to talk about that. The experience with COVID.
Oh my god! Yeah. Honestly. Like, Allie and Elena graduated, I'm pretty sure, in 2020.
Like at the end of it?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
So
were they stoked?
I'm pretty sure they had to
Thank
do
God.
their thesis, their theses during
Oh shit.
COVID, which was horrible.
So then they don't. So do you not? So break it down for me. Do they get like when they do a thesis? That's like part of like a show that they get to have.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's like basically you get your gallery on campus and you get to like install your work. A lot of people I think didn't get to, and then if they did, they like had to do it later, and then they also had to do it like 10 people can come.
Yeah.
Which was sad, and then no graduation. I got to go to graduation. I got to go to the first CCAD graduation that they had in 2022, and then this most recent one was when I graduated.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it was not fun. There was no facilities. I honestly feel like I did not really learn anything online.
Really?
I mean, what are you supposed to learn in art school online? Except the art history classes were great.
Yeah.
That's something
That I could see.
totally easy to do, like a lecture, but I was in like printmaking online and sculpture online.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah. It was that way. It was the way
part of me
COVID
thinks,
was.
It's like, I know, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I know they're like running a business, but like, I don't know. Part of me thinks it should have just like stopped. Do you think that would have been better, or would you have been pissed to do it later down the road?
I know a lot of people dropped out. My partner dropped out of
Really?
art school maybe not art school, but school during COVID, because it was just like, why pay this money to
like
sit
take
at
an
home?
online course?
Yeah, and I get that. I think I already dropped out of college once. I went to Akron U for 1 semester in 2017, and my family was not about to vibe with me dropping out of college again.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I also kind of did want to get it done just as fast as possible, because I was already kind of like behind. I graduated, not behind, because no one's really behind, but like in the
like
scheme
with your
of
like
my,
central group and everything like that.
Yeah, I was like a couple years older than everyone, so I was like, I want to be done.
No, that's fair.
And I mean, go ahead.
Do you think there was even like, did you ever feel off like being with people younger? Because I feel like art kind of transcends that, at least a little bit.
Yeah, I think at first I did, but that was because I was living in the dorms, and that was a whole different experience. But besides that, not really. I feel like the concepts and everything that we learned and that we would talk about, kind of translated really easy. It wasn't like I'm not in the same generation or anything. So like I got it, and like I feel like they very much got what I was trying to say with my work too. I loved my fine arts class at CCAD. The group of people that I graduated with are absolutely amazing, like
That's
artists.
sick.
I know, and like I was kind of not expecting that. Like after COVID, it was just like I don't know any of these people, and then we got back, and it was like, oh, friends.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, if you got anyone you'd recommend too,
Oh my God, so many. I'll send you their Instagrams for sure.
please do.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I love making shit too, but like I do love like, I don't know, just like looking into people and like what they. I'm huge on like whole profiles, so I feel like this whole like scenario is like it's interesting to me. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's like
for
I
sure.
of course want to keep making my own stuff too as well. But this like whole avenue is just so fun to me. And it's like one of those things, even if it like never makes money, I still have like so much fun doing it. And I don't know, just being able to like, so many people were stoked to like, people will text me and like seeing their friends like on TV, like live, like even something so small like this is just so wild to me. And to create like some type of like SEO, like other than your own personal website with your name on it, I think is cool.
It is. It's so helpful. And like, I completely get it. I try my hardest to do art history and like curating stuff outside of my fine arts practice because I think I'm split pretty evenly between like those two avenues of like being an artist and being a curator because I just love other people's art so much.
Yeah.
I completely get why you do this. I would like in another life I feel like I would do something similar.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Hey, if you ever want to do like, I mean, we can find a way to do it. Like, if you ever would want to do like an art history like
oh my god
thing.
Yeah. I actually
definitely something we
have
can
someone
do.
who would do it so much better than me.
Better than you? Well, why not together then?
That would be great.
I was like, I think that would
be
cool.
awesome.
And then I can, like, you guys can, like, because I know down the, like, these mics are fine, but, like, I want to get, like, actual, like
yeah.
professional ones at some point. And that's mainly what this mixer guy's for, but I could be, like, entirely in the background just making sure everything's running smooth
Yeah,
while you
that would
guys
be
do
awesome.
your thing. Dude, I'd love to just be there and hear it and, like, listen to it, too, which is, like, it would be perfect.
Yeah, one of my friends, Jess from CCAD, does like amazing art historical research, and they also make really sick art.
Amazing.
All kinds. They blow glass. They do like crazy welding stuff, and yeah, it's awesome.
I can't like attach myself to one thing. It's just like this. I don't know, with like woodworking or like I like for like the first like merch thing. I really wanted. I'd never done. Basically what Elena does, like the carve-in.
Yeah.
Tried that. It was so much fun.
I actually brought one of those.
Dude, they're so much fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of relaxing too, honestly. Because like whenever I like, I don't know why I view this in a certain way. When I'm learning something new, it's like I'm not scared at all. I'm not thinking. It's just like fuck it. I'm just gonna keep like that is like my whole life. It's like I'm just gonna keep making mistakes and find some way to mold this.
Yeah.
To make it work. But like when it comes to painting, I don't know if it's like that's what I view as something that's like the utmost professional, at least from my personal perspective. So I'm like always like in my head, like I'm like the worst about like if I don't like how it's going in the first 30 minutes, I just like
Yeah.
I don't know if I just mentally can't stay there. But like man, if everything's flowing, I can like groove for like 5 hours. It's just like I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's like the whole day, what I ate, a conversation from earlier in the day. It's just like everything influences me in that regard.
I feel that.
Or if like, man, even if I don't have the right songs on, like it's just like the playlist isn't moving and it's just like, this is bullshit. Or if I'm switching between podcasts and music, I'm just like, I already know this whole day's fucked. I can't do it.
Honestly, I listen to probably more podcasts while I work than music, which is definitely different. I work at Blind Eye Art Restoration, which is how I know, well, it's not how I know Elena and Allie, but I know them also through that and CCAD.
Yeah, I know Allie does like crazy stuff. Yeah, my partner does stained glass too as well, so I thought that was super rad.
Yeah, I love Allie's work. She's always doing something really cool in the shop.
Dude, and her partner Chad, top vegan, let's fucking go.
I know, right?
I was like, so rad.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, okay, so I was just gonna say something. So I went to high school with Chad.
Oh, wow.
He was like a grade or two above me. So from my like immature, super judgmental perspective from when I was a kid, I would have never anticipated the path that he went down.
Yeah.
Like at all. So like when I was in high school, he was like, he hung out with like the more like bro types. He played football, like athletic, and like he became like a vegan chef and does theater and makes movies and does a top vegan show.
Right.
And it's so amazing, but I never would have anticipated it at all. But like when I went to high school, it was, my situation was, sorry, we're gonna come back to you. Just let me finish this random plethora of thoughts. My high school experience was weird though, because I went to the Olentangy schools, like up in like the Delaware Lewis Center area.
I know somebody who went there.
Hell yeah. But when I was going to school, like I went to middle school and elementary school, like basically, if you go north, there's like basically High Street turns into like State Route 23. Mm-hmm. And when you go up north, there's like Olentangy schools on the west side and on the east side. And my whole like super young adolescence when I was a kid, like middle school, elementary school, I went on the west side. And then for high school, they swapped me over to the other side, which wasn't tight.
Yeah.
I would say was not great. But I mean, I did get to learn. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like that's the only way you're really going to learn. It's either you're going to sink or you're going to like learn better social skills, at least in that regard. But I was definitely pissed, at least at the initial parts of it. But like, man, that first year was rough. Knowing everyone, because like everyone's already got like when you're in that era of life, like everyone's already got like some type of like group or I don't know, some type of accompanyship.
Yeah.
But like I had friends, and then I just like. I think I could talk about this live, but like I used to like, I don't know, I got into like fun extracurriculars like way too young, like pot and like all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But that's like, if anything, that was like my catalyst or crutch that I used, at least to make friends. I was just like, I sold like a dumb amount of weed when I was in high school. So that helped. And I don't know if I like relied on that or if it like made me more comfortable, but yeah, it was tough. All right, sorry, continue. I just like had to go down that trail.
No worries. I completely understand. I used to throw parties right when I dropped out of school. So I completely understand the whole friends and illicit substances.
Dude, yeah. Like and now I'm like I don't know, I'm like a dad. Like I did pretty much anything I can get my hands on other than like heroin or like crack or like anything that's like absolutely frowned upon. I was just like, you know what, I'm above that, but I would like do everything else. But now I'm like, I like drink like maybe once a month, and then I just like am addicted to my stupid Juul flash drive smoke device and coffee. Like that's like my vice now.
Oh my god, yeah, I completely understand. I don't even like I guess I could still say that I drink, but
it's like socially. It's
hardly.
Like if like I go to a bar or I'm at a concert, like things like that. Like there's an event. Yeah. Like for like the last year, like my drinking moments would be like at Franklinton Friday, and that's like it.
That's a great drinking moment to have.
Yeah, and it helps like I mean not that I should use it like that way, but it does make talking to like normies a little bit cleaner.
Oh,
I would say
for
overall.
Sure.
Because that's like the crowd's kind of transitioned. Because it used to be like more people that were like I don't know when 400 was cool and new. It was like very like art centric individuals, and now it's like kind of a thing to do, and you kind of get that crowd now and there.
I know what you mean. I felt that at my Roy opening. It's like, oh, okay. And
yeah, there's like you get like a handful of people that are really into it and are like very curious, and that's like always like those two people like that come through are always like make it worthwhile. But it's most people that's like people that were probably trying to go to land grant and then like saw that there was a thing over there, and they were like,
let's go check it out.
Like, in Austin, I will make fun of people all the time because like we have a big ass studio and we'll always have like people like just like walk by and just be like. And then just keep going. I'm just like in my head. I'm just like, where are you going? Is that all you're doing? Just sampling and then just heading out? I guess that makes sense. I guess I will do that sometimes. But like anytime there's even something, I would say like new or like anything kind of exciting, I'll always investigate at least to some extent.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I feel like that's kind of part of being in a kind of communal space.
Kind of now. But yeah, I mean, it still exists. So like, I'm gonna fuck up his name, and I hope he gives me shit. But like, do you know Eric Boscherez?
I don't. But
so
you can tell me.
His name is ETB Art or Arts on Instagram. But
I think I do follow him.
He has a space close to 400, which I feel like is still like. AJ, I think, is in there too as well. But I think like the last remaining very cool spot in Franklinton. It's called like Studio 129.
Yeah.
But like that place is amazing. I think could foster like more cool shit. I know he wants to put studios in there too as well, but I feel like Block Fort's cool too, but like I don't know why to me, but like Block Fort feels kind of corporate to me when it's not. I don't know why, but
I know what you mean.
it feels like, I don't know. I feel like it should be dirtier, but
Yeah.
like I know that's bad, but I want it to feel like more grassroots. But because I know there's people that have like very professional businesses in there, and I totally understand that as well.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know, when it comes to like going to an art studio, I want it to feel like Rona's studio kind of feels that way. He's like one of the few I feel like feels like that, but it needs to feel a little grungier in there, man.
Oh my god, yeah. It's like a lot of the furniture in there like makes me feel like a hotel.
Yes.
Which, yeah, I get for your very professional businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the whole other half that is just not developed warehouse. You're
Yes.
like, oh, I see the potential now.
And I definitely, because it's one of those things where there's not a spot where that exists, at least for like when it comes to like more like very professional like art spaces, because there's like crazy I can't remember her name, but she paints more almost like a Renaissance style portraiture, and it's like if you haven't seen her, she's on the left side. I can't remember her name, but it's like amazing, like a style from like literally 300 years ago, and it's like incredible. And
That's awesome.
I feel bad because his name's Grayson, I think, but her partner is like one of the primetime radio hosts of 92.9.
Oh, wow.
But I know him too for some reason. I don't know why.
That's awesome.
But yeah, incredible. She makes crazy stuff. But I mean, Dylan's sick. I love Dylan's stuff. It's growing thin on me now because I feel like I know he's in his element right now.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be too judgmental in my head. I just like I don't know why, but I'm eager to see like the next era of what he does, because I'm curious at least when that transition's going to happen.
I know what you mean. I feel like I'm curious for my own next era. Like, huh. Because every now, like, it feels like, especially with CCAD, it was like every year my art would make this like really dramatic progression in a direction. I'm like, when's that going to happen again? And I have been, like, I applied to grad school. I'm not going yet, but I am going
Thinking
to.
about it? Do you want to go there or somewhere else?
Yeah, probably not CCAD. I love CCAD, but I think that I have grown there as much as I can, kind of. But
did you look into schools that were more, and I guess first question, are you thinking more art history or more for fiber?
I applied mostly for fiber and printmaking. I applied for 2023. I got accepted into some, but I didn't really get like the financial offers that I wanted.
No, that's fair.
So I'm gonna apply again in 2024, or for 2024 rather. But next time I'm probably going to do a couple curatorial and maybe a couple arts ed. Just try it. See which one gives me the best money. I feel like I'm equally as interested and as available for any of them. So
absolutely.
And I also am like a firm believer in you can always just get another degree.
Yeah, no, absolutely. For sure.
Like, I would love to have like a bunch of degrees. I love like all the art history professors at CCAD have like 1 or 2 degrees. It feels like.
Is it
or
like
they have a doctorate, and it's like.
Is it things that are like kind of related, or things that are like all over, like left and right side of the brain almost?
I feel like they're usually kind of related. I had one professor who I think had a degree in theater and also art history. I think he had his doctorate in both. Maybe just art history, but like for sure art history. Honestly, you don't have to have a doctorate to teach art history, but it really feels like it a lot of the time.
I feel like, and I'm going to be talking from a perspective that I don't have, but part of me thinks like, I feel like you'd get shit like from the other professors, like if you didn't have it. Maybe not like explicitly, but like implicitly. Like they would they would definitely like, I don't know, like they would judge you a little bit
Oh,
internally.
you child.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's like I performed well at like math and science. Those are my strong subjects, but most of the things I wanted to go to college for were completely unrelated to that. And like part of me like didn't trust myself at 18 to make the right decision. So I was just like figure it out later. And then here I am now.
You were right. I made the wrong decision when I was 18, and I went to school for graphic design. And then I literally hated my graphic design class so bad that I just stopped going.
No, that's fair. It's kind of heartbreaking too, because I feel like with graphic design, it's like there's very like two sides of the spectrum. You either have people that are freelancing and like making shit that they still like, but they still have to deal with clients that suck. Or you go like a corporate route and you're making like social media posts for like people that make gutters or something.
Yeah.
And also not fun. So it's like tough. It's either you gotta hustle your ass off or like make shit that's not fun at all.
Yeah. I was like, this is not my vibe.
And I feel like, I mean, it's like a very technical like skill that's like not respected really much.
God,
at least in my opinion. At least like at a general scale. There's always like graphic artists or like people that get love. I mean, there's people that get love in weird ways too. Like I don't know, like there's illustrators that are just like beloved in like the Magic the Gathering community for trading cards, and it's just like very like niche style like illustrators that I feel like are so beloved.
Yeah.
And then there's like I don't know, and then you have people that make like probably have to continue to remake that overused design that's like in Facebook, like you know what I'm talking about, like the blown up like limbs, and it's very animated and it's like ambiguous, at least in regards to like gender, and it's just like it's very safe. Not that it would be like better to be like more like gender focused. It's just like it's very like it just exists. It's just there. It's not interesting, but it's there. I feel like it was so I can't remember what it's called.
It just feels.
You know what I'm talking about though?
Yes. It just feels like it's really like it was a very quick thought in someone's mind. Like, oh yeah, we can just make blobs.
Dude, yeah, no, I'm gonna find it, but like shit like this.
Yeah.
God, where are you? Because I remember like and then Kroger did like a shitty 3-dimensional version of it.
Those, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I was like, I can't even remember. Someone told me like an inside scoop, and like I don't even know how like valid the source is, but it was like a friend of a friend that was like connected to the initial project of the Kroger thing. But apparently they spent like over $1 million on it, and they hated it, and they just like, well, we spent this money on it, and they just like rolled with it. But yeah, it's just like,
what are we gonna do? Not buy groceries?
I don't know. It just doesn't. It's like one of those things where it's like I feel like it's less about, not to take away from the art, but I feel like it's less of what I feel like it's more based on the writing, and I feel like the art like kind of assists with it. But like I feel like the ads that like the only ads in my plethora of shit that's like thrown at my face on a day-to-day basis has been like I feel like some of the BetterHelp ads are kind of funny, and that's like the only thing that I feel like, wow, an ad that kind of has piqued my interest. But it was just like, I can't remember. They had like some drag person on that was like a fairy godmother. They were like, they have 3 wishes, and like one of them like just for a dog got that, and then one of them was just like, can you help me set up boundaries? I was like, just little shit like that. It was nothing, but it was funny, and I was just like, all right, sick.
It's like, oh, it's just a little baby animal. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's ideal. That's what I want to see coming up on my screen without my consent.
Well, yeah, and then even she was like, "Can you help me like get over the thought of me wanting to be liked by everyone?"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, "Holy shit!" Kind of resonated with me.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, am I just getting boomer? Like, am I like attracted to like the millennial-based ad that's thrown at me, or is it better? I don't know. Because it's one of those things where it's like my parents thought like I can't remember, it was some insurance company, but they were like,
oh yeah, my grandparents love Flow.
but Flow, and like the one where it was just like people like It was like a guy teaching a class of millennials to not be like their parents.
Oh,
But
I
like
don't
my
know what that
parents
is, but I
fucking
know.
loved it, and I'm just like, I was like, this is like the worst humor. It's like bottom feeder sitcom humor, and like, I just don't get it.
And there's so many versions of that same commercial too. It like is painful.
But and there's like, I feel like there's a whole art to like marketing, and I feel like there's so many cool things, but it's just like underutilized.
Oh yeah. I feel like cool things scare old people, and there's still a lot of them around.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, just air them on like Fox News, and that's it. Just get it out of my life.
Exactly.
Do you have Fox News parents?
I don't have Fox News. Well, I have a Fox News parent that likes to think she's not,
Oh man.
but
My dad is so he's like a Fox News person, but like the opposite. He's like an MSNBC head. So like my parents are like my mom is like indifferent, centrist, grew up Catholic, but like my dad's like very eager left, like heavy on it, but like he's old as fuck. So he's hopefully he doesn't listen to this. I don't think he doesn't know how to use YouTube, so I don't think he's going to. He's turning 74 this year. But he's like one of those like he's a liberal from that generation.
I know what you mean. I feel like my grandparents would understand.
It's like one of those. It's like embedded in with him, and I feel like he doesn't even intentionally mean it. But he's like, he's liberal and he wants rights for everyone, but he also hates people, and he still has like closeted racism that still like pops up every now and then. And it's like one of those things. It's like how can these intertwine? He's like so heavy on giving rights to everyone, but like still weirdly racist in things that don't matter. Like dumb things too, or sometimes he's trying to make a joke and it just like never lands, not even close. I'm just like,
thank God no one else is here for that.
dude, I know. It's like we're in a restaurant I like right now. Like this is awful.
I know exactly what you mean. My grandparents, they try so hard, but it's just like they can't help it. They're
I know, it's
slaves
just
to
like so
capitalism
nurtured.
and the patriarchy. I mean, we all are, really,
Yes.
but they just are like, they're down for it.
Damn,
from the
they're
generation where
down
it
for the
worked.
patriarchy. It's
Honestly, my grandpa probably is because my grandma makes him dinner every single night.
damn.
I mean, he's
To be honest,
not in theory, but
I kind of feel bad. So it's one of those things where it's like my partner makes a lot of the food, but she's also much better at it than me and enjoys doing it. But it does kind of fill that trope a little bit.
I understand. My partner is actually much better at cooking and does more cooking than me, but I do more cleaning because I like it. I think it's all about balance. It's as long as no one is pulling the other's weight.
Yeah.
I think that's
I think
like,
just balance is,
yeah.
as long as that's there, and I feel like fucking gravy. Fucking hell yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. And even just like being able to be like, hey, I can't do this right now. I've had a hard day.
Yeah, just like, I don't know, some kind of
Communication.
code word that comes into play.
Yeah.
And that is still something that I overcome. Even like, I haven't done it in like a year or so, but I used to be more avid about therapy.
I feel that.
And I don't know, I go through spirals where I feel like some days I'm just on it. Like I'll go to work, I'll do art, and like everything's flowing, everything's right, and I'll even do work at home. And then there's some days where I'm just like, I'll get through like a handful of like what I intended to do for that day, and then the rest of it I'm just like,
Yeah.
and then I wish it's like one of those things where it's like, I won't wait till it gets foul, but I'll wait till where it's like, this mess is pissing me off, and then I'll clean everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like my partner's like that. I am the type of person who is like, in order for me to not be stressed, this place has to be clean.
Yeah. Oh my God, like my partner, you just like high-fived. I'm bad. I like am very tolerable when it comes to like little messes, and I don't know, sometimes I'm not. I'm definitely more eager about like, see man, I'm definitely more eager about like food cleanliness. Like, I'm big on dishes, I'm big on that, but like when it comes to like, I don't know, my books, like random places or like clothes somewhere, I'm less like eager to hop on that immediately. But I know it's like she does spend a lot of time at home, and it's one of those things where it's like that's her spot, and like I just need to be more respectful about that. Sometimes I am bad about it.
I mean, as long as you're trying your best, that's all you can do. And some days you can clean the whole house, and some days you can't. It's just how everybody is.
And half the time in my head, I'm like, I feel like I'm more eager to like work on something like cool versus like. Me too. I'm like, tomorrow, John, and then it becomes next week, John. I don't know, just a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Comes out of nowhere. It hits me fast.
It's hard. Stuff piles up too. Like, for a minute, like every now and then I'll have to travel for work, and it's like, oh my God, nothing happened while I was at home. And it's not even like stuff that I would expect my partner to do. Mm-hmm. It's just like things that I do just out of habit.
What you normally do.
And it's like, oh my God. Maybe I don't want to say.
Oh yeah, no roasts.
OCD or anything, because I don't. Yeah. But like, I have anxiety, and it comes through in those ways.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But yeah,
I like I bottle a lot, unfortunately, because I don't know, in my head half the time, where it's like, part of me was just like, we'll eat the conflict rather than like having a conversation that I know will be difficult in that moment.
Oh, for sure.
And then I feel like it'll be like, I don't know, there's shit in the way, and I have a hard time getting to the bathroom, and that's what sets me off, and I'm just like, damn it.
Yeah.
And then it's like my patience goes, like, usually my patience is like through the roof, and then like for some reason some days it'll be like, oh, it's gone, and then I'm just like, I put on my John Stern cap, and then like, I don't know, I'm more specific about things, but like even in a place where it's like I have no place to be like stern about something, at least in regards to any mess or clutter, I'm just like, there's fucking clothes all over my room, and I'm just like,
yeah, I feel that. Can I move this? I might take my shirt.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Off. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we can even switch to tunes for a bit too as well. Then we can vibe about whatever.
Sure.
I owe Simon Molnar. Yeah, the song I tagged to the post. That's Simon Molnar. He's local.
Awesome.
I fucking am obsessed with that song. But yeah, before I turn off my mic, I need to like say that all the time because I listen to it all the time.
Yeah, for sure.